Before we end the webinar, we had promised you that Dr. Akshay would give us some tips on how we can control hair fall. So, some tips from you now.
I think the first thing to do is to look at your diet, because you are what you eat. I can give you an example of how diet plays a role in hair. Okay? Patients who are undergoing chemotherapy, they lose hair extremely quickly. Why does that happen? That happens because chemotherapy targets fast-growing cancer cells. Hair is the fastest-growing natural cell in the body. And because of that, when you attack the cancer cells with chemo, you're also attacking the hair. Now, why I'm making this example is that because hair cells divide and they grow so fast, they need nutrition. The first thing when you cut off nutrition is you start to lose hair. You will find many people who have lost weight with crash dieting the fast way. Losing weight is a good thing. It can be medically managed to see that you don't have any of these effects. But when you try to lose weight the fast way, you do tend to lose hair, if not immediately, over a period of time, but it does happen. So control your diet. A balanced diet is very important. Iron and protein are the two most important things for hair. Iron can come in the form of meat for non-vegetarians. It can come in the form of dates, not the kind you go on with people, but the kind you eat, the dark black dates that you eat. So that gives you a lot of iron. Protein can of course come in the form of non-vegetarian. Again, it can come in the form of pulses for people who don't eat meat. So controlling your diet is very important. There's certain things also that are good for your hair. Soya is good for your hair, particularly for pattern hair loss, because soya brings down your HT levels, which is what causes hair loss, hormonal levels. Green tea again is very good. So green tea and soya in moderation are good for your hair. That's something to take. I think of course to take care of your hair, look after it well, you nurture it well, it will be good for you, it will be good to you. Try to avoid chemical procedures in the parlors. We hear of these Brazilian treatments, and we hear of these straightening, and we hear of the chemical treatments that can bond your hair. Stay away from them. Stay away from irons to straighten your hair. Like I said, if you're good to your hair, treat it well, it will be good for you. Try to use a product that's natural, or try to use a product that matches the pH balance of your scalp. Another simple thing is when you're washing your hair, always remember that hair can tend to break when it is wet, because when it is wet it can stretch, and when you stretch it, it can reach its breaking point easily. Therefore, always remember, firstly, towel dry your hair. Try to avoid a hair dryer. If you are using a hair dryer, use it at low heat and use it at least 6 inches away from your scalp. That will prevent the damage to your hair. There are lots of cases of chemical breakage of hair because of hair dryers, and that's something you want to avoid. And like I said, hair can stretch and break when it's wet, and therefore towel dry your hair and comb it when it's semi-dry. I know it's always easier to comb your hair when it's wet, but that's actually bad and detrimental for your hair. So comb your hair when it's semi-dry, and that will be good for you. Of course, like I said, and I always say, hair loss is medical, and therefore while you are doing these things which are good hygiene habits for your hair, do not rely on them to treat. Do not rely on them for results. If you're losing hair, please consult a trichologist. Like we've seen in this webinar, there are many people who wait for 2, 3, 4 years. Waiting is really not a good thing as far as your hair is concerned. You can get much easier, quicker, faster, cheaper treatments if you actually start taking treatment early. That's my message.
So, what I take on